Ladies and gentlemen, we back. So, the Nuggets could be in some serious trouble for this week, and probably next week also. With us learning that Val is going to miss a month, Jokic is in the midst of his month he's going to miss, Cam Johnson's in the midst of his month he's going to miss, and Christian Brown could be back for the game tonight against the Nets, but I don't really see that happening just because he's extremely questionable. I think it's an ankle injury, so even if he does play, it's going to be on a heavy minutes restriction. And the same thing for Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon could be back at the end of next week, but he has a hamstring injury. So David Adelman's going to want to slowly put both of them back in the rotation with minutes restrictions. So it leaves just Jamal Murray as the true lone starter we have. And it may look bad because we never want to see our stars in the game hurt. We want to always see everyone play in every single game. But it's not going to happen. Injuries are inevitable. So, Jamal Murray's left. And as a Jamal Murray fan, let me tell you what. I'm unbelievably excited. He is my favorite player of all time. He is... Oh, man, I dropped it. He is my favorite player of all time. And I'm here for it. I am so down for a Jamal Murray just chuck fest. Him just taking every single shot. Which we kind of saw in the Cleveland game, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the reason he has to do it is because I'm going to read you the rotation that was in that Cavs game, okay? So, we had Tim Hardaway and Jalen Pickett split minutes at the 2. Bruce Brown played the 3, and Spencer Jones started at the 4 with a backup of Julian Strother. And we saw a center rotation of Day'Ron Holmes and Zeke Naji. Not very good. Not very good at all. And that's what happened in the Cavs game. We got unbelievably outclassed, and the biggest problem was we looked so incredibly small. The rebound differential was 55-32. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley just did whatever they wanted to Day'Ron Holmes and Zeke Naji. The second chance points for the Cavs were unbelievable. There were so many offensive rebounds. And even then, Mobley and Allen did whatever they wanted offensively. They didn't score a bunch, but that's because every time they got the ball in the post, there was a handful of plays that I saw Evan Mobley call for the ball in the post. And he would just start to bully one of them. And so we had to send help from the corner to try to stop them from just doing whatever. And it would leave the 3 wide open. Very big problem. Very, very big problem when your centers look that small. So everything was just open for the Cavs. The only thing that really kept us in the game was the turnover differential. The Cavs had a couple of really bad and boneheaded turnovers early in the game. The turnover differential was 16, Cavs, Nuggets 9. And it was just... We scored a bunch off of those turnovers, so that was one of the reasons we were really in the game. The other reason was Jamal Murray himself. He had an amazing first half. He had 34 in the game, but I think 31 of those was in the first half. The third quarter was rough. The fourth quarter was also really rough, but for 2 different reasons. The third quarter is rough because he got in his own head. He come out of the half and missed a couple of shots, and you could see from his body language that he was kind of in his own head, right? He threw his hands on his head. He kind of, did like the fist thing, So he was kind of in his own head and not really shooting with the confidence that he needs to be shooting with, being the lone, should be all-star. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care. He is an all-star. Jamal Murray is an all-star for the first time in his career. If he doesn't get it, I'm going to start losing my mind. I'm going to make a 45-minute rant video dissing every single person that made the all-star team above him. Just an hour-long video of me just dissing everybody for one reason or another. Anyway, back to his tough third quarter. But the fourth quarter was not on him. The Cavs' entire game plan for that fourth quarter was let anyone else beat us. Do not let 27 beat us. Let everyone else on the court do whatever they want. Just don't let 27 beat us, which they did to perfection. Off of every screen, they blitzed him. Just him coming up half court, they pressed him. They double teamed him. They were not going to let him beat him. And the only reason he was 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter is because he hit a three-pointer with like 5 seconds left or something. That the game was already over. He just chucked it and he made it. So, yeah, it helped the Cavs win. They came back and won, so shout out to the Cavs, I guess. Peyton Watson had a good game. He had 21, but there's a specific screenshot I have of a point in the game where this is going to bring into how much Jamal Murray, how much pressure he has on his shoulders as of right now to keep this team afloat until he can get some sort of help. Spencer Jones had 10 points. Peyton Watson had 13. Daron Holmes had 3. Jalen Pickett had 4. Zeke Nnaji had 5. And Tim Hardaway had 5. Jamal Murray had 31. So Jamal Murray is going to have a tough time this week because he is going to have to do everything. And like I said earlier, I am absolutely here for it. I loved the defense that the Cavs put on him. I absolutely loved it because it puts him in a situation where he has to show how good he really is. I know it. If you've watched any Denver Nuggets playoffs, you know how good he is. But it's gonna. Everyone knows we are so injured. A lot of NBA fans know how injured we are. So it's gonna shine a light on him and put him in situations where he has to become that playoff Murray that we're used to seeing. And I hope it happens. I do. It happened in the first half of that Cavs game, and we play the Nets tonight, and I'm so excited to watch what he's going to do in that game because, oh my gosh. He is, like I said, he's my favorite player of all time. I'm so excited to finally see him as the guy. He's going to have to do everything. He's averaging 25.4 this season. The rest of the roster that played in the Cavs game is at 52.4. He averages almost half of what the entirety of the rest of the roster averages combined. I'm just so here for it. And, I want to say a little bit more about him as a player because he is my favorite player of all time. He is the reason that I fell in love with the game. He's the reason that I love it, right? But he wasn't always my favorite player of all time. It used to be this man right here, in case y'all don't know, number 1 on the Chicago Bulls. Hold on. Number 1 for the Chicago Bulls, Mr. Derrick Rose. I grew up, and I loved Derrick Rose. As a kid, I loved how his flashiness for the game, right? Obviously, everybody as a kid you're not a big analytical person. You just love the flashiness of the game. That's what Derrick Rose had. So he's kind of what got me into it and gave me my love for the game. But the reason that I love the game is Jamal Murray. When COVID happened and came around, I was 2020. I had to be probably 14 or 15 at the time when COVID was happening. And I didn't really love the NBA as much as I should have. I loved Derrick Rose and what he was able to do, but I didn't love the NBA. And there was a specific play that I'm sure most of you have seen of when Jamal Murray hit that 360 layup. And it went huge on NBA media. It was huge because it was a super cool and it was an incredibly tough shot. But something about that shot just kind of got to me, right? And I was like, man, I need to preface this. They played nothing alike. They're not the same player at all. But it kind of reminded me of my favorite player in Derrick Rose in the acrobatics in the layup. Because he had hit another shot in the bubble where he kind of went up and under. And those highlights kind of just like, whoa. Like, this is kind of Derrick Rose-esque. I think, and I kind of looked into him a little bit, and we saw his playoff performance in that season. I was like, man, I really like this guy, I love when players can step up their game when it matters the most. When it is the lights are the brightest, you can step up and show it. And that's what Jamal Murray did. He did it in the bubble, and he's done it every year in the playoffs since. And that's kind of what drove me to him. I just love that step-up ability that he has. And hopefully, like I said earlier, he can bring that into this regular season because this next stretch is not easy at all. It is not simple. It's going to be a rough stretch. We have the Nets tonight. We got the 76ers, the Celtics, and the Hawks and the Bucks in the next 5. Not a single one of those games is easy. If you sleep on the Nets, they're going to beat you. They're going to score. The Celtics are a great team. We just watched Jaylen Brown drop 50 last night. Shout out Jaylen Brown. He helped me in my fantasy. Yeah, Antoine. Ha. I'm going to win. Anyway. And the Hawks they're a great team. Jalen Johnson's been taking that amazing leap. I don't know if Trae Young's going to play. I love Trae Young. I don't know where the hate's come from. And the Bucks. The Bucks are going to be an easier game. I'm not sure when Giannis is coming back. Maybe he might play. I don't know if he's not. It's going to be the easiest of the 5. And I would be very happy if we could take the Nets game and maybe the Bucks game. If we just win one game of this 5, I'll be happy because then he'll be able to get some help back with Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. We need Aaron Gordon back something horribly. We look so, like I said, we looked so small in the Cavs game. It was hard to watch. But anyway, so I wanted to, this basically just in a Jamal Murray appreciation post. So shout out to my favorite player of all time, number 27. I want to see what he does tonight. The rest of the week, y'all are finally going to put some respect on his name. And as always, thank y'all for watching. At the end of the day, just remember, I'm just a guy with a microphone and an opinion. Peace out.